Good morning. This is Laura Gathers from Love Heart of Marriage Coaching, bringing you wisdom for wives in 5. This month we are studying the life of Abigail. Abigail can be found in 1 Samuel chapter 25. We're going to go right ahead and dig into the word. We're going to start with verse 18. And it reads, "And Abigail hurried and took 200 loaves of bread and 2 jugs of wine and 5 sheep already prepared and 5 measures of roasted grain and 100 clusters of raisins and 200 cakes of figs and loaded them on donkeys. She said to her young men, 'Go on before me. I am coming after you.' But she did not tell her husband Nabal. It came about as she was riding on her donkey and coming down by the hidden part of the mountain that behold, David and his men were coming down toward her. So she met them. Now David had said, 'Surely in vain I have guarded all that this man has in the wilderness, so that nothing was missed. And of all that belonged to him, he has returned evil for good. May God do so to the enemies of David, and more also, if by morning I leave as much as one male of any who belong to him.' When Abigail saw David, she hurried and dismounted from her donkey and fell on her face before David and bowed herself to the ground. She fell at his feet and said, 'On me alone, my lord, be the blame, and let your maidservant speak to you, and listen to the words of your maidservant. Please do not let my lord pay attention to this worthless man Nabal, for as his name is, so is he. Nabal is his name, and folly is with him. But I, your maidservant, did not see the young men of my lord whom you sent.'" And so Abigail took full responsibility for her husband, and she asked David, "Hey, let it fall on me. I take responsibility for not being there when you sent your servants and asked for food and drink." That is so powerful to me. I can't even take responsibility when we're late for an event. I'm quick to put the blame on my husband. Hey, we're late because of him. When clearly I don't have to give an excuse. I can just apologize for being late. But no, like, we're late because of you. So everybody's going to know that we're late because of you. And here we have Abigail, who was willing to risk her life for her husband. That is powerful, and that is definitely something that I want to learn how to apply to my marriage. And I challenge all of us to think about how we can cover for our husband instead of throwing them under the bus, because like I said, I'm quick to point the blame. And Abigail has clearly shown me that, hey, we have a responsibility as wives to accept that that's my spouse, and I'm going to cover them and I'm going to protect them, even if it costs me my life. Abigail was nowhere around when those servants came and asked for that food and drink, but she quickly responded and she quickly accepted responsibility for her husband. And to me, that is amazing. And that is definitely something that I want to be able to do in the future. So, wives, our challenge for this week is when times arise where we could point the blame and say, "Hey, it's my husband's fault that this didn't get done," or "It's my husband's fault that that didn't get done," that we dig deep inside and we challenge ourselves to say, "You know what? I take responsibility for that," because we're no longer two, but we're one. And so if my husband does something, then you know what? I'll take responsibility for it. And I really want to see how this is going to impact our marriages. So really, please take time and say, "You know what? I'm going to let other sisters in Christ know. I'm going to let other wives know how this has impacted my marriage." And I hope that we will make as much influence in the lives of our husband as Abigail did for Nabal. So thank you all for joining me for Wisdom for Wives in 5. And I look forward to hearing the testimonies of all the wives when we can come together and say, look what we did. Look how we covered for our husband. And look what the Lord did. And look how it has blessed our marriage. So thank you all for joining me for Wisdom for Wives in 5. And I will talk to you all next week. Be blessed.